So this video is about, it's titled 30 something women are having an identity crisis, and this is by Suzanne Vanker. This lady deals with women, she deals with women issues, she deals with relationship issues, and she's addressing the very prominent identity crisis women are going through. Not that men don't have an identity crisis. Personally, I think the men are avoiding the identity crisis by filling it with work and all this purpose driven stuff. But Suzanne Vanker is talking about women and their identity crisis. Let's hear what she has to say.
Begin at the end. The cultural pressure on women to consistently produce in the same way men do, under the guise that career success is more fulfilling than motherhood, and that being in the marketplace is the antidote to losing themselves as a wife and mother or being left high and dry in a divorce, needs to end. Quote, I'm exhausted every single day. My career is going great, but my heart is with my family. I feel weak and ashamed for thinking motherhood and housework is too much to keep up with a full-time job, and I'm suffering. To all the moms out there who are in the same boat, at some point we have to listen to our hearts and stop fighting nature just to meet the status quo. End quote. This is just one of countless emails and social media comments I read on a weekly basis as a relationship coach and a podcast host. And it's one of the saddest realities of life for women today. This woman, and millions of others like her, were never warned about what happens to women once they have children. At this stage of life, what most women, even the most staunch career women very often, wind up wanting is to nest or to slow down so they can focus on being a mother. But due to cultural conditioning, they do everything in their power to submerge this part of their identity for two reasons. One, they've been groomed to believe they have no value if they're not earning money. That's a big one. And two, for many women, they are their family's primary breadwinner, and they feel trapped. They don't think it's possible to stop working, if only temporarily, the way most mothers have throughout history. In other words, modern married women have become both mom and dad all rolled into one. And so begins their identity crisis. As Paula Reinhardt writes at The Federalist, quote, here is a common conversation heard in the intimacy of a therapist's office, one that's grown in frequency. The patient is anxious and depressed, often in her mid to late 30s. She's juggled home and work and children for quite some time. Maybe there's a toddler who refuses to sleep, or a teenager who struggles mightily. Day after day, the demands pile up. Her work is never done. She craves more relaxed time with her kids, but how can that happen? Depression or lack of motivation come because physically a woman can't replenish the dopamine and serotonin that her body used to produce more easily. If she burns the candle at both ends with 12-hour days and lost sleep, it will show up as anxiety. Those are the physical realities of life in the estrogen-rich female body. End quote.
But this stuff is going to catch up, just like, the birth control stuff. And it's not only on women. A lot of men take advantage of these things too. You have a lot of men out here talking about, she needs to work and carry her side 50-50. And you have women out here talking about, I need to work and carry my side 50-50 because I'm gonna kill you, man. I don't need a man supporting me, right?
And as we know, sorry, finish your point.
I don't need a man supporting me. I can pay my own bills. I could cover half the bills. Bobbity boo. What are you gonna say?
No, it's okay. We don't want to expose your habits off camera. So like we said kind of earlier, the culture is like, hey, do this, do that, and that's how it should be. But naturally, they go against what everything is natural. Isn't culture going against almost 90% of things that are natural?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how things are supposed to happen and how we're supposed to behave according to how life is. They're saying do the opposite. Do everything that you want to do instead of what you need to do. It's nothing to border us to the right direction. It's whatever direction you want to go to, that's your journey.
This is one of the big reasons why we can't let culture determine what we think or how we feel. We just cannot. culture isn't in our best interest, because culture is generally determined by, some people that control Hollywood, music, movies, entertainment, and generally their agenda is pushed forward and kind of creates culture, right? They're called influencers. If these influencers are influencing the way culture goes, that's pretty dangerous, because it's just people like you and me that are influencing culture. I wouldn't want that, because if I disagree with you, now I get in trouble if I say something that you don't agree with, because that's not culturally sound. Everyone keeps saying it's 2023. Aren't we supposed to be past that? No, we're not. The year that we're in has nothing to do with anything that's right or wrong. What? You're 25, so you should have 2 jobs, and you should have $250,000 saved in your account. It's 2023, bro. Come on. You could be a digital content creator. You could do YouTube. You could blog. You could vlog. You could do all. Why aren't you doing these things? It's 2023, right? The year makes no sense as to what we're supposed to be doing. The year makes sense as to how much better we're supposed to be as a society, but like culture wants to regress. So all the people that follow culture for what is right, or is 2022, women are supposed to be this, women are supposed to be that, it's obviously not working. It's so obvious, but you wouldn't know if you stay in a little bubble or whatever. So that's what I got for this. This video is a lot longer than this. You can go to Suzanne Vanker's YouTube. It's called Suzanne Vanker. She's a relationship coach. So the stuff that she says, it's reality. It's not just someone making up these statistics. These are the kind of people we're supposed to be listening to help guide us, because they see a bulk of the issues